All right, everybody, taking a live look here over Gaza right now. The camera's kind of moving around. You could see the city skyline there in the distance. Obviously, the airstrikes here do continue. And we did learn overnight that Israel says a senior Hamas commander killed in that Israeli airstrike in the Gaza Strip. That is according to the Times of Israel. An Israel Defense Forces spokesperson saying that dozens of Hamas members, including the deputy commander of the terror group's rocket array, were killed in those overnight strikes. As we get more details and developments, we're going to bring them to you right here on Live Now from Fox. This is a question that I ask you every time you're on, but people are getting kind of bits and pieces of what's going on. We have some people watching us right now who have not necessarily been following each and every piece of this. Can you break down how we got to this point where we are entering week 3 of this war between Israel and Hamas?
Hezbollah is an Iranian-backed organization. It's supplied militarily completely by Iran. We know Iran has supported Hamas since its inception. It may take some time to find that, but I can tell you from personal experience, personal analysis, that prior to this attack, I can give you 100% assurance that Iran supported Hamas. The Houthis are completely supported by Iran. They're another proxy force, and they help fight against Saudi Arabia in that war over the last 10 years. So when I look at that, and I know that the Houthis, for in fact, do not have the technical capability to have cruise missiles or attack UAVs. We saw over time Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps forces in their training and supplying the Houthi forces.
Because that's been a question since the get-go.
And a couple of things. One, Hamas showed detailed planning and the level of what we call operational security and even communication security, knowing how Israel collects its intelligence. So they showed excellent planning and background. And I have to say, this planning and detailed way that they approach this is a sure sign of outside help from Hezbollah and from Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps. So we look at that. Do we know exactly how? No. And I think it's a little bit too early probably to try to stop and assess it. Talk about it in class in regards to an intelligence failure. And we know that intelligence isn't going to get this right all the time. However, laying blame at this time, I don't really want to do. I don't think we should do that at this time, because it's not just an intelligence failure. It can be what the military wants to focus on, and it can be our policymakers setting our objectives and priorities for us. So I think there's a little bit of blame to go around, but probably a little bit too early to do that. So when I look at that, and I know that the Houthis, for in fact, do not have the technical capability to have cruise missiles or attack UAVs. We saw over time Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps forces in their training and supplying the Houthi forces